kind of a demo where in this demo, there's an image classifier that uses multimodal models to basically classify images. So in this, and here's a repo if anyone is curious to see it. Yeah, so in this demo, basically, you can execute the script and pass it the URL, for an image, and then it returns some metadata on it. And the way we're doing it is we're using this. We're using the Langchain assistant, and we created this image classifier tool, and then we just run it. And this tool so it extends the Langchain tool definition class and uses this define function, classify the photo, scene settings in the photo, colors, objects, actions. And anyway, so just to kind of show how it's working. So if we pass it, we run the script, it returns this metadata, and this is actually the image that was sent. So it returns the main subject, cable car, scene, urban. Then it like picks the colors, identifies the objects, identifies that there's a driving, walking action, identifies the weather conditions, time of day, mood, and you can pass it different images, and it would kind of return the same some metadata. And the way we're doing it is we're passing the image URL to the assistant, to the LLM. And so currently it only works with OpenAI and Mistral, because those are the two that accept images. But I think just to kind of drive that functionality further, we should extend it to the rest of the LLMs, and like Olama accepts it as well. And we can, whenever this loads. Okay, so sorry, the computer is being slow. So if we look at the accepted parameters for this Langchain assistant messages OpenAI class, so it processes the image URLs, but Anthropic, oh sorry, is this the right class? Yeah. Oh, the adapters. Yeah, so it passes so the adapter passes the image URL, but then the Anthropic, we have a warning that the image URL is not yet supported. So we should. I was thinking this could be a good first issue. We can kind of extend that support. And so, but basically, Anthropic does it a little bit differently, where instead of the image URL, yeah, instead of the image URL, it accepts a base 64 encoded string. So I was thinking that maybe the interface could still accept the image URL, but we would basically download that image and convert it to a base 64 representation and pass that in.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Does that make sense in general?
Let's see what the chat says. Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I think it's important to mention that we have these different LLMs in the gem, right? And they all play together with the assistant class. So it's important to mention not to keep the same interface, right? So that we these LLMs can be used interchangeable, right? And by same interface, also kind of try to match the same parameters that you pass to the LLMs.
Yeah.
As Andrei said, I think it's easier to make all of them accept the image URL, and for those ones that doesn't take, for those ones that don't take the URL but actually the image content as basics for, just gonna download the image and convert on the fly.
Yeah. So if we, yeah, that's right. So if we use the assistant and pass it the LLM, and if we then try to send it a message and say, like, describe this image, and then give it the image URL. I'm trying to get that link. So if we pass this in, and yeah, you can see that there's a message with the content, the image URL, and the role. And if we run it, it says this image depicts vibrant urban scene featuring classic San Francisco cable car. So I guess it has enough clues to know that this was taken in SF. But if we use like a different LLM that doesn't support it, which is the one that I was suggesting that we extend the support to, like Anthropic. And then I just reinitialize it with a different LLM, and then add that image again. Yeah, we get this warning: image URL is not supported by Anthropic. And then, yeah, it has no image attached. So that's what we're gonna try to make work. Okay. So, well, I actually I kind of prototype some code here. Yeah, I guess the question is like, where should this go? Like, does it make sense to put this code in the base class? So there's these adapters. and there's an adapter base. Does it make sense to put it in here?
Probably because if I remember correctly, in the code base, we also pass the imagery out down to those messages, right? What is the name of that class? Because we also have like a base message class, right? Yeah. So maybe because it's going to be used by Anthropic, probably going to be used by some other LLM that takes images as base 64 content. Yeah, maybe you can stick it there in this base class. That method to download the image and convert it to base 64. Or maybe you can just open up another utility class or something like I don't know. You have like these utils, right?
Yeah, there's the
a random
utils.
utility. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the adapters, like I think the adapters are gonna become the adapters are like becoming this maybe newer unified interface where it's kind of like obfuscating the difference between the chat interface, even better than the than the LLM classes themselves. So does it go in the adapter or does it go in the message? And the messages are, yeah, I mean, the message is really just, right, so what does the message classes do? They hold the role content tool calls, or tool call ID, or yeah, image URL, and then they convert it to a hash that is what's expected, like the format that's expected by the LLM.
Yeah.
And then there's like some helper methods. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, if you think about the adapters as like the thing that takes those parameters and kind of adapt to the specific LLMs, maybe, yeah, it makes sense to have it there.
okay, let's yeah, we can at least like start. So we can put this image URL. I don't know if I'll need this, but maybe. Okay, so we can put this image URL to base 64, takes the URL, downloads the image data, and then convert it to base 64. Convert to base 64, and then returns a base 64 representation. Okay, so we can invoke it from, so we can get rid of this warning, and then, okay, and then, so it takes the image URL, but then what it actually passes is,
Actually, should be maybe image base 64, right? Like the name of the parameter.
wait, sorry, image URL to base 64?
No, the name of the parameter in the initializer. Image.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe just, yeah, image base64.
Yeah.
Okay, image, and then so we need to add that parameter to Anthropic. When the params get long, and I like to do this. Some people don't. Image base64. And then, yeah, and then we need to figure out how to send it in the content. So I think look at the docs.
It's very similar to OpenAI, the way it's formatted.
Okay. Yeah, I think, so if we look at OpenAI to hash, yeah, we should definitely refactor this. If tool.
Maybe let's make it work right
Yeah.
at some specs, right? And then we can
Yeah.
try to make it a bit prettier.
Yeah, so you could send both the content and the image URL. So if tool calls, if tool. Hold on, let me just visualize it. Let me just copy this. Gonna put it like side by side. Get role, content, if tool calls. Um, I wonder if we should just split it, to be honest. Like kind of like do both things
What do you mean?
in one BR. Like as in you know that ticket to split the hash method into separate ones.
Mhm.
So there's like this pattern, like to hash, and then if assistant, if system, if tool, if user hash, assistant hash. So maybe we need to do something similar.
Wait, go back to that
And
to that ugly tool. Yeah, the one. No, that one is fine because I think I saw one that kind of have some intertwined, logic. Like if it's a tool call, it adds something to the hash, but then add some other stuff that are common to the other like common payload. But I think it's not this case. But yeah, I agree. Let's try to
split it.
yeah, let's try to make it similar to that all around.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna copy this. Yeah, because I think I think the names of the roles are the same. So there's an assistant role. Oh, there's no system role. There's a tool. Yeah. Okay. So there is a tool role. I mean, it's called tool result, but it's fine. Tool hash, and then the user. So we need assistant hash, tool hash, and then user hash. So, and then if we just look at there's this build content array. Okay. Build content array user hash. Two calls. Okay, well, let's tool hash. Although this is called tool result. And then the assistant hash.
Can a tool pass a content with an image? I guess, right? Yeah, I guess, right? Does it make sense?
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think.
I mean, if you have a tool with, let's say, that fetches a database of images and image URL, right?
Yeah.
And
That's a good question. I don't think I've never. I don't know that I've ever seen that. That's a good question. Can a tool respond with an image? Well, either way. I mean, I assume that even if they accept images, it has to be a base 64.
Yeah.
But where does it talk about tool result? Well, this only mentions the text content. This is the tool definition. So I'm not sure. Hold on. So if I do Anthropic tool, so tool result. Oh. So it does.
Yeah.
So the tool can respond with an image.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tool result with images. Wow. Okay. I've never considered this before, ever.
Yeah, I was just asking because
I've never considered this.
Yeah, just asking because if it does, we can just reuse that, like the same kind of follow the same pattern of that. What is the name of that method? Build content array. Yeah, both to the user's hash and the tool hash.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. Sorry. Where's the code? So tool hash. So I know there's no prefix because this was copied from Mistral, so I'll just get rid of it. Oh, I heard the sound and I don't know where it came from. Did you hear that?
No. No, not here. It's not on my side.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's Discord or something else. Okay, it's fine. All right, so let's let's so I will say, like, let's make some progress in this, and then once we kind of are at a good place, like, we can take some questions. Maybe if someone wants to come up and chat, um, yeah, or ask a question, we'll bring them up, etc. So, all right. So I think we can get rid of type tool result tool. Oh, this is type. Oh, it's the content type. Yeah, type text, build content array. If tool, I think it's this. So the tool will, so the if tool will go to tool hash, and the tool hash is tool result content, tool result content, tool call ID. No, tool use. No, there is no. I don't think there's this parameter. And then the assistant, role assistant content, tool calls. User hash. All right. I mean, we can try to run it, see what happens. I'm not sure it's gonna work. So LLM, let's use Anthropic. And Anthropic API key. And then if we use the assistant, and we just test it out with some text. Okay, private method open on module URI. Really? Private method?
You have to require open. No, what is the name?
Oh, this open URI?
Yeah,
URI?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you didn't
Well,
pass anything, right?
yeah. So I mean, I think in here, like, we shouldn't just convert it. We should pass it if it's in there. So we can do image base64 if image URL. But then, yeah, like, what's a cleaner way to do this? Because otherwise, or I mean, we can declare like params, right? We could do this.
I mean, since the idea is to reuse that image URL to base64 method, if you want to have this additional, condition to add it to all the adapters, you can just return nil if image URL is not there in that method. And then you can use it directly on the initializer. So if you go to the method, the image URL for method.
Yeah, I mean, can we just do this?
But I mean, what I mean is that, let's say that you're gonna do that for Olama as well. So probably you're gonna have to have the same pattern, right? The same if if else, and then pass the image base64 to the Olama message initializer. And what I suggested is just to, on the image URL to base64 method body, you just bail, right? Return nil if the image URL parameter that you passed is it's not there, right? And then you can.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
just return if return unless your URL or something, or if URL nil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then going back to that, to the adapter, just can pass, but you don't need that additional condition.
Right.
Yeah. You can just revert.
Okay. So I think at the top here we need to require that. Well, I don't like that it's complaining about the security vulnerability. Right.
Wait,
so
where is it complaining? Ah, okay. Yeah. Because I mean,
it's from the internet.
You can never know. Yeah. What is the URL?
Yeah. So is there a better way to do this?
I remember that I stumbled on this issue before, but I don't remember exactly what were the better alternatives. So if anyone in the chat knows,
Yeah.
like to circumvent this security issue when using OpenURI to download URL from images from the internet.
I feel like the correct answer is you basically, well,
I mean, let's
sure. Okay,
go ahead.
let's get it. Let's get it working.
Going.
Yeah, let's get it working. Okay, let's just redo this. Okay, so this works, and then actually I want to like test it with tools as well. So just random tool. The calculator tool. So if I say use the calculator to calculate 2 plus 2. Okay, so I think we probably sent it some bad data. So we've got, so it does call the tool, and then we invoke the tool, but then my guess is that this 2-hash representation is not correct. So we're sending it role tool result, content type tool result, tool use, content So this is probably incorrect. Let me try something. So I'm gonna stash the changes away, and we're gonna try the same example. Oh, sorry, no, not the last one. Not this one. This one. To hash type tool result tool use. Oh, role as user.
Role user.
Yeah, and here we set the role tool result.
Ah, all right. Yeah, makes sense.
So if we look here, is that correct? It's just tool result is role, but then why is it that when we do this? Well, maybe this is what actually needs to be sent, and this is just the internal. I mean, I don't exactly remember. Maybe this is just the internal representation.
Isn't that probably because when that tool result got added, we didn't pass the role, and then the default role of user got, because I think there's this, right? When you don't pass the role, there's this is defaulting to user, right? I don't know if that's that's what is happening, but maybe it is.
No, so I think role is right. So if we look here, yeah, if we look here, the role is user, but the content type tool result. So I think actually in here, oh, sorry, I need to unstash my changes. Git stash pop. So I think here, yeah, role is actually user. So if we rerun this, man, so much for test-driven development. I mean, we're gonna write tests, but it's not gonna be tests first.
Yeah,
we're gonna test
it's important
after.
to have tests, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing still? Test-driven development?
I think so. Yeah. Sarah, doesn't thoughtbot, like, do you guys exclusively do pair programming? Because I remember, like, back in the day, there were like companies that only pair programmed. Like you were basically you were always, yeah, okay, so not exclusively, but it is a huge part of the culture. Okay, so let's test this out. Still complaining. Still complaining. Let's check this. Role user content type tool result tool use content. So why is it? I mean, maybe the 400 happens for a different reason, but I think it's.
Maybe try not to use a tool for now, you know, like plain message, like without calling any tools, and then trying to call like a message passing an image. And then if it's still like if it's everything's working fine except the tools, then we know that problem is somewhere in the tool.
Yeah, well, it responds. So you're saying pass the image.
Yeah.
Let me get that image URL. It doesn't like it.
Can you go back to the hash where you add the image?
Oh yeah. I that's right. I don't think it's actually.
You didn't add it yet?
Well, it's like.
Oh, actually, you're passing the URL, right? You have to pass the actual content.
Type image. Type image source media type. Well, that's the other thing is like we need to figure out what the media type is. So type image source and then but we need to, I mean, this needs to be like figured out dynamically.
Yeah. I mean,
pass
the
image extension. It's not called extension. It's like I think it's called like meme type or something like that. Mime type, maybe.
Yeah, I remember that I did something similar on my project.
So maybe this actually needs to return the mime type as well.
Yeah.
Or we could try emitting it and see if it works. All right, let me rerun this. So LLM.
Yeah, I mean, I was just checking here with I had to do something similar on one of my projects, and just inferring from the from the name of the image, from the URL, from the extension. Not sure if that's the best approach, but
man, it's going to be impossible to look at. It's going to be to look at that base 64. I wonder, like,
no, but
is there?
I meant inferring from the URL. So it's if you have a URL, /dog.png, right? Dog or dog dot, I don't know, JPEG.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, like in the console, it's going to be impossible to look at this, to look at the messages output, because now it's going to be outputting this. So like maybe there's a way to mask this or hide it, right? Yeah. All right. Well, let's I'm not sure it was passed in because this says, I apologize, but I don't see any image attached to your message. So maybe it was never passed in. Content details. build content array, user content array. Well, okay, so -2. Oh yeah, it was never passed in.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it's not tool. It's user hash content build content array.
It's because it's not image URL, right? You pass an image, yeah, basically. And also you have to pass the type, media type. You have to pass the actual content somewhere there, right?
Oh yeah. Maybe it's this. Yeah, data. Okay, let's try that. Oh, I see. Okay, it's not. We don't have an adder reader.
But wait, how were you able to use the image URL reader before? Is it defined somewhere else?
Yeah, but it's called. I think it's called image URL. It's
Ah,
not. But
the
ours
base.
is. Ours is called
Uh-huh.
image uh, base 64.
Yeah, probably either we just remove from the base and let it have explicitly in each of the specific LLM messages, or add or have in the base both, right? Image URL, image base 64. Because
Yeah.
you're gonna you're
What's
gonna
what do you prefer?
uh, good question. I would probably stick with the have it, because it's something that's not going to be common to all the messages. So maybe I'll just let it be defined in each of the each of the message LLM message classes if it's needed. So just leave it there, right, as it is.
Okay, leave it here as it is.
Yeah, and I would maybe in another PR or something just remove the image URL, that reader, and move it to, because right now
Individual.
it's
Yeah.
right now it's just on
Okay.
OpenAI, right? That's using that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So LLM assistant, send the image. Well, I do want to figure out like how to output this without basically making this like unusable. So like, is there a way to like mask this so it's not, or maybe just hide it from being outputted, right? So like it's an attribute on this class, on this object instance, on this class instance, but can we, yeah, shorten it somehow so it's not, so you can like look at messages without. Okay,
Yeah,
killing your process. So okay, so this yeah, so this works.
probably then the issue that we were seeing before, it's exclusively to the tool
Yeah.
called, right? No.
Yeah, I think it's tool call related. So let's let's test the tools again. Okay, let's test the tool again. So if we say
Or, I mean, if another approach is that since we already made some progress here, maybe you could see if someone in the chat is, interested in continuing the work, right? I mean, since we kind of already introduced what this feature or what this feature is about. So maybe someone then just start to get involved with the gem, and it's easier to get something that is already kind of halfway through.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we have a lot of people right now.
Really? People left?
Yeah, so yeah, maybe let's try to finish it.
All right.
So okay, so it's still complaining about
Probably isn't there, maybe you can rescue this error, and maybe in their error object, there is the
body.
maybe they return the body with the errors, probably with the issue.
Yeah, I think it's actually the bug with the gem where it doesn't surface the errors correctly.
I mean, but
You're saying if I rescue it regardless?
yeah, yeah. Just try to rescue that error and see if there's a body there.
I think it's something like this.
Yeah, or you could, or that, that'll work. It's different error now.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try to remove this for a sec. Okay. So let's run the tool.
If you run it again, what happens? It erases the same error, or
Yeah. Because it tries to.
So just rescue inline there in the console. So just do begin semicolon. System run semicolon rescue that error. Right, rescue Faraday bad request error. Yeah. and then the error just added to an instance variable in the console, so you can just get hold of that instance variable.
Wait, is it this? I think.
Rescue? No, without the error. So rescue and the Faraday bad request arrow. Yeah, put an arrow E. Yeah, just add to, because I don't think he's going to be able to do a binding pry on the. So you can just assign, maybe just assign these E variable to an instance E variable, right? At E equals E, right? Without puts. Yeah. And then you can, yeah. I think it's E response. Yeah, response bar. Extra inputs are not permitted.
So I think the issue is actually with I think the issue is actually with this message. So I think it's complaining that is it complaining about this? Let me try to stash the changes away, and we can take a look at how it was previously. Oh, so it's all inside of content. There's no tool calls. So this is what we're working on.
Yeah.
Like this is expected, and then this is, yeah, I mean, you get the point. This is actual. So roll. Sorry. This.
Yeah.
So I think instead of these tool calls, we just send. It's under content. Okay. Pop. So here, if assistant. I mean, I want to say it's like this. Let me try this. Okay, so let's run it. Well, we could just see it real quick. Last 2 hash. Yes, that's not right. Certainly I'll use a calculator. Because we actually need to send this as well. So that's not right.
How was this before? I'll check something real quick. Interrupt. Content to calls. Go back to the code that you refactored. Go to the to hash, and that's there. To hash user.
But yeah, but right now we're debugging this.
Yeah.
So
Because the way that was before is that if it's not a tool, result, if the two calls are present there, we just put the two calls at the whole content, right? If you see the else if two calls. So probably when in your refactored code, the tool, the second condition else if tool hash, that one's right. But the other conditions are not taking checking for the two calls any, right?
Yeah. So I think it's actually, I think it was like this, basically.
Yeah.
Like reverse.
It was like that before? Or you just change it?
Well, so if you look here, right, like content equals.
No, yeah, I mean, I was just asking if the refactored code was just like that.
I just changed it, so it was like
Okay.
it was this.
It was like that, right? Yeah, I think the
Content
other way
or
around.
tool calls,
Yeah.
but I think it's the other way around. The only thing is, I just want to make sure. So this or this is, yeah. So it needs to be like, I think like dot any, because I think this defaults to an array, so it needs to be well.
Yeah, I mean, just do a tertiary.
Yeah.
Condition. Yeah. Just do like that for now.
Yeah, or actually, I'm gonna do it a little nicer.
Right.
I was gonna complain that it doesn't like the style or something.
Yeah, the indentation.
Really?
Yeah, because he wants to have the if else aligned, totally aligned with, yeah, exactly. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm not a big fan of.
No, I'm not a big fan of. I think
Yeah.
I think it belongs here. You know?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I also hate.
Like I hate when it's like it's.
Yeah, there's so much wasted space there, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a whole.
And then it doesn't. Now it's an odd number of spaces.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Okay. All right. Let's run it. Assistant. Has evaluated the expression first. Okay, so well, this works. Let's try the image again. Actually, maybe I could just copy this. Cat. Well, no, not quite. So if I say describe this image and then give it image URL. But I still want to figure out how to like mask this, because if I'm scrolling through messages, there's like no easy way for me to go to see the last message, right?
Yeah,
So
probably
like
there's a way.
yeah, I feel like there should be a way. All right, so this worked. This image depicts a vibrant urban scene in San Francisco. So basically, so we've got to hash. So first we say use the calculator to add up 2 plus 2, and then it calls the tool. And then we say we executed the tool, here's the result. And then it like, just reiterates the result back to us. And then we say, yeah, this is where it takes forever because it outputs this data thing. Oh, we still need to figure out how to pass the data type.
Like the image type.
Yeah. Well, we can. I mean,
Well, it did work without it, right? So
we haven't tried it. I mean, I could try emitting it and see if it just figures it out.
you're passing already. Okay, gotcha. Didn't see.
Yeah, and then the 6th message is yeah, just the description. This image depicts a vibrant. So let's try to let's try it again without passing the image type. Yeah, it doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we pass it in? Do you think?
I
Because
mean,
yeah, it's coming from the adapter. I don't know. I mean, maybe this actually goes into. Maybe this actually should go into the messages. What do you think?
I
Because
think
otherwise, like, we should return an array and then right, and then this is going to be like image JPEG or something.
I mean, the way that I would think that it would work to in a more like a robust or flexible way and to work with all the other LLMs is to have like a image wrapper, not a image wrapper, like a class that wraps an image. You pass it out image URL, and you have different methods for that image URL, right? You have the content. You can put like call dot base64 content. You can call dot mimi type dot URL, and you pass that object to the messages instead of passing either image URL or either image base64, right? Because right now you're passing image URL to the OpenAI message object or class.
Mm-hmm.
And we're passing now image base64 to the Anthropic message class, right? So instead of doing that, I would pass this image wrapper object, and inside the OpenAI message, because it needs only the URL, you would just call image. I'm just calling image wrapper because I don't know better. So you would just call image wrapper dot URL. So you wouldn't process the image at all, right? You don't fetch the content because you already have the URL there. But with Anthropic, you would call image wrapper dot content and image wrapper dot mimi type, and then you have all the logic to download the image and figure out the mimi type of the image in the same class. And then you can even have that discussion that we had, whether to have the base message class to have those readers, right? The image URL or image base64. So instead of having those two, you would just have image reader, and that image would point to this image wrapper object that you have access to all the methods that you need, like URL, the content, and the mimi type.
Yeah.
And then you can just put this image wrapper class in that utils folder.
Yeah. Should we use a struct?
Well, you're gonna need methods, right? Like that will be called dynamically. You can have like a class that extends a struct, but don't see the point in this case.
Well, you can. I'm trying to think.
But did you kind of understand what I tried to say?
Yeah.
Image wrapper.
Yeah. Well, there's also like this class data. You know the data class?
Data class.
Yeah, so you can do so you could do, I think something like this. So like image wrapper, and then I mean I'm like looking up the DSL. You could do data define. And we could specify like URL base64, and then the MIME type or whatever. And then you can define methods here.
Is that data class a custom class in the code base?
No, it's built. It's built in. It's in the Ruby standard library.
I've never used that before.
And then you can like return the URL. So you could do image wrapper dot new URL whatever.
But that's kind of the same as a struct.
Kind of similar. Yeah. Well, you can. I mean, you can define the methods here.
I think a struct we can also do that, if I remember correctly. But I'm not sure.
Base64. Yeah, and then you could call like dot, I guess, ext. Okay, so I mean, does it make sense to use it or not? Right, because we could like define it up top.
I mean, I would, since we already have that UTIS
Okay.
folder, just
All right, I'll
help.
trust you on that. So you're saying image wrapper?
Yeah. Because it's very agnostic of, you know, the rest of the other stuff, right? It's just handling images based on URL.
Yeah. And so the initializer just takes
Yeah.
what, image
URL.
URL?
Yeah. You can have it like a reader, because maybe you're gonna also need the reader, image URL reader, and then you're gonna have base64 and Mimi type or Mimi type, whatever the name is.
Yeah, I mean, it says the docs say media type. I don't know if that's the official. I don't know if that's the
I would guess that,
proper.
yeah, I would guess that it looks like a Mimi type, Mimi type. Yeah. For now, I think for lack of a better approach, I would
Yeah, let's call it
probably
my.
yeah, Mimi type. I would infer from the URL. That's going to be the
Yeah,
easiest.
yeah.
If it's maybe there's a better way for now. You can just grab the last, split it. Yeah.
I think this literally works. And then base 64 is. What does this work?
Where did you put that require? Open URI. Probably you're gonna move to that class, right?
Yeah, I don't remember where I put it, to be honest. Like this?
Wait, let me go back to you. Yeah.
So image wrapper, chain tills.
Is it auto loading all the files on that folder?
Yeah, it should. Okay, now it works. All right, so new, and then if we take this image, so well, this is not right, but yeah, I think the extension is actually different from the MIME type. I think it's let's see. I was looking up the answer somewhere here. Well, I don't know. Is this part of a standard lib? Mini mime, mini meme. I don't think it is. No, it doesn't look like it is. Mini me.
Maybe I never seen that before. Just do. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how to fetch this in a better way. Okay. It seems if you when you do URI open that your URL, go back to the that
Terminal.
part of the code and now to the code base. Yeah, it's there. It seems that you can do like a dot meta and content type. And
Here?
yeah, so instead of calling also dot read, you can also do dot meta, you know, as I think it returns a hash, and and you fetch content type, the key content type there in this meta hash. I'm not sure if it's gonna work all the time, to be honest. Maybe it does.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this works. This works. Well, we should. I mean, should we cache this?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think something like this. I think.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah, you can also cache the base 64, right? If you want it. Probably gonna need that first line also to be called. Like you can do like, yeah, like the base 64 pipe equals begin, and then put the whole body inside the begin end block.
Oh, because you're saying it might fail?
No, because you're calling the dot read, even though you might already have the base 64, right? If you call the read now the base 64 method 2 times, you would still call dot read. Actually, I don't know if you can read 2 times, maybe because of a pointer, right? Maybe it doesn't work. So just do like base 64 pipe equals begin end, and inside the block you can just move everything that you had before inside the block. Yeah, begin end, exactly, and move that line, the first line, to be inside that block as well.
Okay. So first time it takes a while. Second time it takes a while. but it should be instant, right?
Yeah. Did you reload the,
I'm
the console?
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Probably it's taking a while because the string is too long.
Oh,
So
like outputting it?
yeah, it takes a while to, to print it.
Maybe. Hold on, REPL. There is like a way. There is a way to like hide the output.
You can call with semicolon and dot new. So if you go do like initialize another image wrapper again. And call, no, yeah, just initialize. Don't call, just assign. And now call I w dot base 64 semicolon new, because you want output of the right. Yeah, it's pretty quick. So it takes some time to just to print the string.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. So this should be. All right, so this class is ready, I think, right?
Yeah.
So basically we need to update everything. So in here, we just pass it an image, right?
Yeah, so the way that I would do in order not to call this Yodel's image wrapper in every place, I would make the base message still accept the image URL parameter. And in the initializer of the base message, I would just wrap it with that image wrapper and assign to a reader. So you don't have to, do that same wrapping every time for all the LLMs.
Wait, sorry. Can you say that again?
So here you just call image URL column instead of the image base 64, right? Like when you're initializing the object. No, just leave it like that, right? As it was before, like with nil, right? You can also accept.
Sorry. You're saying with nil.
Yeah, with nil. And then when you're initialize, pass that image URL, and then just pass the image URL there. And now you go to the base message class. And then you have initializer, right? You accept the image URL, and then you just say at image equals, and then you wrap it if the image URL is there. So image wrapper new, right? Image wrapper new, like the class that you just created. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
that.
then and then in the reader definition, up top, you have the reader image instead of image URL, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already, but wait, no, this is the Anthropic, right? I meant in the base message. You do that in the base because you're gonna need that image object for all the messages, probably. Yeah.
You mean image here, right?
Yep. Yeah. And then I would move that to the base.
But you don't think it's better to pass the image here, the instance that responds to dot URL dot mime
I
type
mean,
dot
what I mean,
base64.
what I mean is that if you do that, you're gonna have to do that wrapping for all the LLMs in each of the specific adapters class.
Well,
Or you do,
yeah, but the alternative is like you're wrapping it in every single message.
yeah, that's why I would move this line that you selected to the base message.
Oh,
Or
and call super, you're saying?
yeah, or you can have it in a method, right? You can have a method def image and then just wrap the image URL. So you don't have to call this super in the initializer. Uh, so if you open up a method on the base message called image, instead of having that image reader, and then you can just, yeah.
Mm.
And then you would have, yeah, it would just, in the reader, you just revert it to have image or URL again in the base message. Because you change it, right? In the readers on the top of the class, just put the image URL. Yeah. And then
Wait, why would I put image URL?
because you use, like in the image method, you're using the image URL reader, or you could just, maybe you want to use the instance variable directly. I'm not sure if you recall.
Yeah, I mean, we could do like image URL. We could do like this. But yeah, let's just get rid of this for a sec.
Yeah.
And then so Anthropic takes image URL
And assign it.
and
Okay.
assigns it, and then here we're calling it.
Yeah. You don't actually need to use the safe operator. You can just say if up top, if image, right? Instead of if image base 64. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Now go back to where you initialize this message, this Anthropic message in the adapter. Because maybe you're gonna have to. Oh no, it's correct. Yeah.
So okay, so we can change this job. I mean, should we still pass the URLs through I guess we could, right? We should still maybe.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, you can use directly the image URL.
Yeah, you could use it directly. Okay. So I think I think this should work, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Let's take it for a spin.
If it does, we're gonna be right on time. Right.
Yeah.
Except for the tests.
Okay. Let's OpenAI also accepts audio.
Really?
Yeah, audio, like really,
Yeah.
not. Yeah, so it also accepts audio, and then it can respond with tool calls. So like, I would
Cool.
say, calculate 2 + 2, and it will send you a tool call. And
Nice.
and it can respond also with audio, not just text, but also audio. But audio is like it could be represented as text, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As like encoded.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of like maybe like adding after like the images are done, like we can also
Yeah.
like add
But
audio.
is it only OpenAI for now? Or
Yeah. So that's why like I want to make sure that that kind of abstraction is like consistent.
yeah.
Image URL, undefined image URL for Anthropic message image URL. Okay. Maybe. Wait, why is it calling image URL? Image URL. Image URL.
So which line? Anthropic
95. If image. But the image method is this.
No, but it's complaining about the image URL. Did you
Oh.
load? Do you still have the image, the reader?
No.
Yeah, just put it back.
Yeah. Okay, let me check something. Okay. Yeah. Also, if anyone, like, I can't tell if there's viewers or how many. So if anyone wants to ask a question, we're happy to answer. I think we're gonna try to finish this really quick, just to produce a working PR, and then call it not just the day. Call it the weekend. Call it the week.
Yeah.
And announce the weekend properly. No implicit conversion of hash into string. Oh, so I guess that maybe that meta key was incorrect that you told me about. Wait, no, no implicit conversion of hash into string. 28, 16. Gosh.
It's complaining. It's complaining about maybe that image URL is not getting that as a string somehow, but as a hash, because it's complaining on the line 28, right?
Say
On the
what?
line. So if you go to that line 28, we use image URL, which should be a string, but maybe it's getting there as a hash somehow. Maybe we did something wrong, in between. And this image URL is getting to this image wrapper as a hash.
Oh, right there, right there. Okay, so this works. So this works, and I think so. What else do we need to do? Do we need to do anything other than like writing specs?
No, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah. This is where you rely on Copilot to write specs for you. Right.
I think I have to subscribe to it again because I changed my credit cards and I lost my subscription. So I'm kind of 1 month without Copilot.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
Learning to program again.
Yeah, but then it like this is not very useful.
Yeah.
Base64 returns the image as a base64 string. Image open image double read image data. Well, I wonder. Should I actually pass it like a real image and?
I guess not, right? I mean, unless you have an image that you're gonna know that's gonna be always there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some like files here. Do you think it makes sense? Do you think it makes sense to? Do you think it makes sense to save an image as like a fixture and then just check that it generates like a proper MIME type? Well, the other thing is like I'm not sure. Like we're using image URL, and would it work with like a local?
Local, probably,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe you can try it.
So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save that image. I'm going to save this image. So actually, I took this image.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where is it?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
So Okay, so well, yeah. Okay, so, SF cable card. The only thing is like the resolution is probably way too large. Okay, so image wrapper. Actually, let's try this real quick. So if I do Langchain details, image wrapper, new spec fixtures, loaders, SF cable car.jpg. Okay, so that mm,
That sucks.
it's interesting. There's no meta.
Probably works only with remote URLs.
And then the other thing is extension or what else would you call it? Type. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's another method. Well, yeah, a part of me is like maybe it should work with local images, right?
Yeah, I was looking at here. It seems that it's, I mean, from what I checked, it says only about remote URLs. Not sure why it wouldn't work with
Only
local.
your remote URLs.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What do you suggest?
I mean, unless you don't want to use, probably there's a gem, right? Or there's an external library that handle MIME types, or. But if you don't want to
Yeah.
use anything external, I would just try to figure out later how to better solve this.
Okay. Let's just do this for now.
Yeah.
And then I guess so we're not going to include a local file, and this is probably.
I mean, you can still have that test, but just keep the MIME type test or MIME type test, because you can still check, like you can still test the base 64 method, right? With local
Yeah.
file.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. How should I test the base 64? You think? Should I just test that like?
Um, I mean, treating the image wrapper as a black box, like the method, you would just rely on still using the open URI or URI open on that file and then comparing the outputs. It sounds silly, right? Because it's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But in this case, just kind of a regression test. Right.
Okay. Let's try it.
Or if you can, maybe you can have the base 64 image as a fixture there also, and then you just read it because right.
Yeah, I think like honestly, I think this is okay. I think this is okay. Yeah, and the only thing is like I need to make this mime type work.
Yeah.
Because right now it's gonna throw an error. Yeah. Okay. Let's actually run this back, the whole suite. So Anthropic. All right, how about this? Let's fix these two and probably uh
Wrap up.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking wrap up. So so this one, it returns the assistant and automatically executes tool calls. So it's complaining that the messages are I yeah, think I think I can basically
Put there because I think type text probably is the default one, right? When it's submitted.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I can basically replace this. And then if we rerun this. Okay, and then 1157.
Same thing.
Probably, yeah. Mm, oh, right here. Because this is the like the expectation. All right.
Sweet.
Let me just rerun the full thing. All right. So okay. So we just need to run some specs, write some specs for those changes. And the adapter, the message, the base, we just added the this image wrapper. The adapter is just this. Okay, and then I can remove this. I think we're in a good spot. I'm gonna try to wrap this up like maybe this weekend.
Yep, sounds good.
So, Sarah, would you like to come on stage?
Yeah. Hey, it's been fun watching your process, watching you work through the issue, try to work around the issues that come up. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you to thoughtbot for hosting it. Thank you to the attendees. If anyone wants to help us build AI agents, or if anyone wants to dive into the library, I will. There's a link to our Langchain.rb Discord channel. There's also a Discord called Ruby AI where there's a ton of folks. That's a great resource to join. But we're excited about hopefully growing Ruby's footprint in this kind of AI ecosystem.